Manager, Member National Planning Commission, and good morning. I'm Ricky Arora, I'm the Operations Manager. I'm not the agent today. So I would like to very briefly put forward just four message topics, and I hope that you will all be engaging. First of all, I'd say that Nepal has achieved remarkable of the citizens has been really nothing. The surprising and somewhat sobering fact by migrant workers. Growth on the other domestically. And that is also provide some suggestions on how to increase relating to the growth rate as its economy. But the growth has lacked clear conflict and several external shocks. But it does not reflect the future. Another issue relates to job creation. Informal agricultural jobs, while exports have not contributed to growth in Nepal. Activity of Nepal's economy and labor production unlock new sources of economic growth that can create more.
Nepal has achieved something truly extraordinary. A few decades ago, more than half of the population lived in extreme poverty.
Performance between 1996 and 2023 ranked 6th out of 8 countries.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
It is an honor to address you today. The World Bank report, Unlocking the Nepal's Growth Potential, provides important insights. It aims to guide the Nepal towards strong, sustainable, and long-term growth. The report covers key areas such as economic growth, migration, remittances, export, hydropower, and digitalization. It also highlights the achievements and challenges. Nepal's current growth model depends on remittances and consumption. This has helped reduce the poverty, but not enough to achieve our goal. The migration and remittances have played a key role in poverty reduction. However, this has not been driven by the economic growth. The report examined the factors that support and limit the growth. It provides an analysis of Nepal's economic landscape and discusses the way to unlock the potential. It reviews the growth trend over different periods. It explores the migration policies and their economic impact. It also looks at exchange rate and trade policies that affect the exports. Finally, it examines how Nepal can benefit from the hydropower and digitalization. Nepal's 16th development plan focuses on governance, social justice, and prosperity. It prioritizes the productivity, production, and employment generation. The government is committed to a strong policy environment. The plan emphasizes the synergies and trade-off across the sectors, policies, and programs. It seeks to reduce the constraint and improve the governance in budgetary process as well. Some key discussion issues arise from the report. Unlocking the high potential sectors such as hydropower, tourism, and digital services is crucial. These sectors can create jobs and contribute to economic growth. Supporting private sector development by facilitating the firm creation, increasing export, and attracting investment is necessary. Domestic and foreign investment can play a transformative role. Enhancing the implementation capacity is a major challenge. Knowing the right policy is not enough. Capacity is not enough. Effective education is key. The Nepal has resources, but utilizing them in productive sectors remain complex. Maximizing the benefit of remittances is an important issue. Covering remittances into, converting remittances into productive investment is difficult. Households are not expected to invest directly in infrastructure, but innovative strategies are needed to channel these resources into hydropower, tourism, and digitalization. Conventional approach may not be sufficient. Research-driven ideas are required to direct resources into high-growth sectors. Migration has both economic benefits and social costs. While remittances help reduce poverty, many returning workers face long-term health issues, pushing some families back into poverty. Addressing these challenges is crucial to ensure the migration remains beneficial. The report highlights the impact of remittances on exchange rate. A rise in the exchange rate can negatively affect the export, creating further challenges and economic instabilities. There are also discussions on the socio-economic disparity linked to remittances. Lower income group primarily send the remittances, while high-income group benefit from the foreign education and opportunities. Addressing this mismatch is also further equitable growth. Remittances have played a crucial role in Nepal economy. However, their impact remains short-term. For sustained economic growth, Nepal must focus on domestic production, productivity, and employment generation. A long strategy should prioritize the strengthening and productive sector to reduce dependency on remittances. Nepal must work towards reducing its reliance on remittances by creating opportunities within the country. Strategic investment in infrastructure, industry, hydropower, and digital services can help transition the economy towards self-sufficiency. Additionally, improving labor policies and supporting returning migrants with reintegration program can enhance the domestic economic resilience. Migration is often seen through the lens of remittances. However, migrant workers contribute far more to the global economy than what is sent home. Their wages do not reflect their full contribution. Their home countries receive only a small share of this value. This worsening the global inequality. New approach is needed. Migration must be seen beyond the remittances. Since the wages paid to migrants are much lower than benefit host countries gain, there should be discussion on the fair economic arrangement. The global conversation should focus on their fair wages and innovative solutions. The policies should encourage host nations to invest in migrant home economies. A global dialogue is essential, and host countries can support the home nation through the targeted investment, technology transfer, and skill building programs. This shift in perspective will increase a more balanced and fair migration system benefiting both home and host countries. Finally, I thank you, the World Bank, and all the others for producing this insightful report and for your valuable contribution. This report provides important insights and highlights the critical issues for Nepal's futures. It identifies both opportunities and challenges that require careful considerations. As we move forward, these discussions should guide our collective efforts towards achieving sustainable and inclusive growth. Thank you once again.